Hey, Team Protege. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm so excited to do a just Q&A with you guys. Just sit down, hang out, talk about business, talk about growth, social media tips, any questions that you have with Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook stories. Really, just whatever is on your mind, whatever you feel like you need help with. All right. Sorry about cutting in and out. Um, you guys know I live out in the country, and sometimes the internet can get a little sketchy, but I'm going to stay on even when it kind of disconnects for a minute. I'll stay on just so I can make sure I get any of your questions. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Dustin. Welcome. So, if you guys have any questions, feel free to go ahead and type them below, and then I'll just kind of address them. I'll answer the questions as I see them. Hey, Amy. And then, yeah, we can go from there. So I'll just do a little chit chat until I see some questions pop up. Please, ask any questions that you have or any things you're curious about or something you heard or I don't know. Who knows? Hey, Chantel. Thanks for popping into the my friend's launch party tonight. That was awesome. It was so good to have you in there. You too, Amy. Um, let's talk about, while I'm waiting for any questions to be asked, I'll talk about silver, the silver challenge going on this month. If you are shooting for silver, if you're shooting to hit the double bonus for silver, go ahead and if you're shooting for silver, go ahead and comment below. Um, and I have a few people on my team who are shooting for silver, and so I'm really trying to rally next to them and rally with them and do some things to help them. So, kind of how I'm looking at it is I'm wanting to throw some launch. Those of you who are kind of leaders or you have people under you, this might be good tips for you. Like, this is the time to throw launch parties. You can throw a challenge out there, do like a challenge group for your people who are shooting for silver, and work it out with whoever. I personally am doing a private challenge group with a sideline friend of mine for me and her, who both have some people who are shooting for silver. So we've developed like a point system and different things that our people shooting for silver can do on a daily basis. And then they just kind of keep track of their points and they'll report them. And then at the end of the month, whoever has the most points, we're doing the top two people. The top two people who have the most points, we're giving them like a Plexus backpack full of Plexus swag, basically. So it's like a fun little way to encourage them to do some of those daily IPAs, some of those things that are really help to for them to build their business and hopefully help them hit silver. So that's the goal. And so anyways, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing is I really want to help as many of my people hit silver as possible. And so I'm excited to see that happen. As you guys are jumping on, feel free to ask any questions that you have or anything like that. If you're curious about something, maybe an update that you noticed or some changes that you may have noticed to Instagram or Snapchat or your hey Lindsay or your Facebook story feature, any of that. So I was just listening to a training earlier today, just on branding and attraction marketing, that kind of thing. And the person I was listening to was talking a lot about stories. It really is where it's at. I really like posting on stories. I think I even forgot to post on my regular page today, but I posted on my story like a bunch of times, which isn't good. I should still post on my page at least once a day. But it's just so quick and convenient and easy, and I love it. And it's really fun. And you can take some things from Snapchat and then post them over there to your story. You just save them. So if you're in Snapchat, you guys know that the Snapchat filters are much better. So I post most of the things from Instagram, directly from Instagram story to Facebook story. But sometimes I'll go in. Snapchat has like those really fun filters, and you can use your Bitmoji and make your Bitmoji like it like dances in your living room and stuff like that. And then you can you can save it and then upload it to your Instagram, which then uploads it to your Facebook story and your Messenger story, so it's nice. So please, any questions that you have, feel free to ask. I know some people send me messages asking me questions, and that's great and everything, and I'll answer them. But that's kind of what this Q&A is for you guys to have the opportunity to ask a question, because some people might have the same question that you do. So don't be shy or anything like that, and just feel free to ask away. I'm just going to look on my computer for a second and see if there's something else I wanted to talk with you about while I wait for any questions. I guess I can give you tips on, so while I'm waiting for any questions, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm going to be getting the Club 700 at convention this year. So that means that, you know, for the majority of out of 8 months, I've qualified one of the 3 clubs for 8 months. The majority of them I've qualified for Club 700, which is getting 3 new customers, over 50 PV, 3 new ambassadors with a welcome pack, and over 700 PV in a month. Now, when I went to convention last year is when they announced Club 700, and I remember the previous year, hey Kristen, feel free to ask any questions that you have in the comments, and as I see questions pop up, I'm answering them, okay? And it can be about anything, honestly. Right now I'm just talking about Club 700 and just giving some tips about that. So when I was at convention last year, I saw them talking about Club 700. You know, we saw the whole presentation and what the prizes would be, and I was like, I want to win that. But at the same time, I saw all the people up on stage for Club 500, because last year they only had Clubs 300 and 500, and I was like, I was amazed that those people got Club 500. I'm like, there's no way, like, I could have done that. Like, that's crazy. And then they announced Club 700 for this year, and I was like, I really want that. I'm going to shoot for Club 700. And I promise you 100%, I did not think it was going to be possible at all. I was like, there's no way I could even get Club 700. I can't even imagine myself getting 700 PB in a month. Like, that's crazy. Nevertheless, 3 new ambassadors and 3 new customers in a month and 700 PB, like, there's no way I'll even get it 1 month. I just can't. But I was like, I'm going to shoot for it. Like, I for sure wanted that Plexus wallet and purse, and but I was like, hey, why not get $700 cash too, and stage recognition, which is really super cool. And so I just started shooting for it. And guys, when you set your bar higher for yourself, you start to be open to receiving more. You start to shoot higher. So if you have your bar set right here, okay, and you're only going to hit right here. But if you set your bar higher for yourself, you might actually hit that. If you don't hit it, you might land right here, but you're still going to be higher than that low bar that you originally had set for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so guys, like five out of the 8 months that I've qualified for the clubs, I qualified for Club 700. It was crazy. And a lot of those months I had over 1,000 PV, which is crazy for me. Like, there's no way like I ever would have imagined having over 1,000 PV, and it happens. So when you set your bar higher for yourself, you strive to reach more, and you will reach more than that low bar that you used to have set for yourself. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. And so here's like a few like ways that I go about doing that, and I'm just, you know, some people will say this isn't duplicatable, but I personally think that it is. And I'll kind of explain why. Okay, so let's say you need like let's say you've got your customers for the month, and you've got your ambassadors you've got 2 ambassadors for the month, and you need 1 more, and it's getting towards the end of the month. You will get paid $25 the next Friday off of a welcome pack, right? At least $25. If they order double triplex welcome pack, then you're going to get $50. But let's say you're just going to get the minimum, you're going to get $25. Well, then it is worth it to me to reinvest or invest early that $25 or part of that $25 ahead of time to that person, and what that I'll get paid next Friday. So like, let's say I'm shooting for that goal and I really want it, and I think $15 will do it for them, or maybe I think $20 will do it for them. You know, it might be different for different people. Some might, you know, take the bait on 10. And so, you just kind of offer them, say, hey, listen, and I don't ever phrase it like they're helping me out. I don't ever do that. I don't ever tell them that I'm shooting for a goal and I need to reach it. I try and phrase it that I want to make a special deal for them because I really want them on this journey, which I do. I legitimately do really want them on the journey. But the reason why I'm willing to do a last second deal like that is because I have my own personal goal and it's going to be worth it. And I'll explain how in just a minute. So I'll say, I really want you, I know you've said, you're struggling in this area and I really believe that this can help you and I really want to get you started. So how about if I give you $25 off, I'll send it to you as a rebate via PayPal immediately tonight. When we used to have incentive codes, that would work. I would do incentive codes, but right now our personal incentive codes aren't working. So I would do that, and then I get paid 25, so I'm still making a $5 profit next Friday, and I have them on the business, which they might end up being consistent and earning me money over time. As far as that goes. Now, I hope you guys all know, if you guys know me, you know my heart, and you know that money isn't my main focus with Plexus, but it is a super awesome blessing, and this is a business, and you can't just give things away for free. You do have to try and make a profit where you can, because you are trying to provide for your family, and your time is valuable, okay? And you're spending time talking to these people, answering their messages, on a phone call with them, on a three-way message, whatever. You're spending your time, and your time is valuable, okay? But if you're shooting for a goal, it can be smart to do that, because here's the thing. If I don't hit that goal, then I miss out on $700 at the end of the year. You know what I mean? So for me to lose out on maybe $20 of my profit and give some of that and still gain $5 profit, I'm still profiting. It's worth it, because in the long run, it's totally going to be worth it to me, because I'm going to get a wallet, a matching purse, and in total $950 cash and stage recognition, which is like super cool. So, and here's like another thing. So like, let's say I brought on a customer and let's say they ordered retail, which I never suggest people order retail, but I did have someone like come out of the blue and order without really talking to me, and she ordered retail. Well, the next month I kind of got her to upgrade to preferred. So that first month, I think it was October, I got her as a retail customer, and then the next month she turned into a preferred customer. So that's 2 months that same person helped to qualify me in the customer range, okay? And let's say the following month, which I haven't converted her to ambassador yet, I'm still working on it, but let's say like the following month I did convert her to an ambassador. That's 3 months of qualifications off of just one person, okay? So sometimes you can be smart, like if somebody is kind of iffy about joining us an ambassador, and you're shooting for something like this, like with Consistency Club, where you get points as them, and the same for like let's say you're not shooting for silver this month, or like, because I'm not, I'm already gold, so I can't get the silver double bonus, but I'm still shooting for Consistency Club, and I'm shooting for convention points. So if I didn't think that they were going to start to work the business immediately and try to build really strongly immediately, I might bring them on as a preferred customer, and then next month try to get them on as an ambassador. So I get 10 points this month and 10 points next month for them upgrading to ambassador. And then that way, let's see, and then try and get them to build after that. Like, you know what I mean? So then that way I'm getting 20 points off of them instead of 10 and 2 points. Because if they were just to stay a customer, I'd get 10 points this month, and then next month I'd get 2 points for them, staying as a consistent customer for the convention contest. So if you're shooting for, comment below what you're shooting for convention contests. I'd like to see. I for sure am shooting for winner's dinner. I really, really want to go to winner's dinner, and it is attainable for me. But I always set my sights high, and I'm never super disappointed if I don't reach it, because I am a firm believer in just setting huge goals, and if you reach them, then that's awesome. If not, then you at least you probably got further along than you would have with the lower goal. So I think my next, like, the next level that I want to reach is I want to win $2,000 cash. I mean, who doesn't want to win $2,000 cash? So I'm trying really hard to push for that. So anyways, almost knocked something over. Well, guys, I really wish somebody would ask some questions. I'm kind of wondering if you guys can even hear me. That'd be hilarious. So I'm just sitting here rambling and no one can hear me. Hey, Lenine. Thanks for hopping on. So ask away, please. Any questions you have? Are you curious about stories or how to post or anything like that? One thing I have noticed recently with some people is that you'll post something for Plexus, which you obviously want boosted. You want people to see it, and remember not to say the word Plexus, please, guys. Please don't say the word Plexus, okay? Because it is a blocked word. We've gotten big enough now that Facebook has blocked that word. So just don't say that. You can find other ways to say what you're trying to say. But so don't say Plexus. But if you're trying to boost that post, sorry. No, Dustin said he asked a question. He sent me a message. It didn't show. I haven't seen any comments since Lindsay's. Dustin, message me your question, okay? Because it didn't show up on here. Sometimes in groups for me, messages or like comments don't show up very well. I don't know. I can look on my computer. I do have my computer right here. See, I found this one. Okay, how do you make relationships with people in groups? Okay, that's a good question. That's cool, Amy. I didn't know that about Melaleuca. And it's actually kind of smart for them not to do that because it's really drawing curiosity. I know there's some companies out there that really promote curiosity building, and it's pretty successful. So especially now that it's a blocked word, it's like it just makes so much sense. Oh, let me finish my thought before I go on to that. Answer your question, okay? Crockett and Mo. Are you Crockett or are you Mo? Sorry. Okay. So if you're wanting a post to be boosted or to like people to see it, do not post anything else, guys, within a few hours, especially a few minutes. I've seen some of you guys, you post something about Plexus and then like 10 minutes later you're sharing a tasty recipe or something like that. Guys, don't do that because what it is it's knocking the Plexus post further down the news feed. What you are essentially saying, okay, here, let's just pretend like Facebook is you and Facebook is a person and you are talking to them. Okay, like you're just having a conversation. Here's how this would go. Hey girl, like, did you see, you really want to talk about this, okay, with Facebook. You're like, hey Facebook, have you seen that movie about, I don't know, about the girl who got stuck in the well? It blew my mind. I literally cannot think about it. I cannot stop thinking about it. I've been thinking about it for a week now. Okay. I need to know, have you seen it and what was your thoughts? And you're really wanting this conversation with Facebook. And Facebook's like, yeah, I did see that. Let me just answer this phone call really quickly because someone's calling me, and then I'm going to talk to you really quick about that because I really want to talk about the well. And then they had to answer their phone call, and before, like right when they get off their phone, and this is what you wanted to talk about, you start saying, hey, but did you see that recipe that that one girl was making with the chocolate and the tacos, the Choco Tacos and Oreos or something? And they're like, yeah, but I thought we were going to talk about the well. And you're like, obviously this is more important to you now. Like that. This is a horrible hypothetical situation. But I hope I'm getting my point across at all. I don't know if I am. But basically, you're changing the subject, okay? You're talking to somebody and you want them to know this like very important thing, and then immediately you change the subject, and now no one's gonna like want to talk to you about that because you changed the subject. You're moving on, and that's what you're telling Facebook. You're telling Facebook, I don't care for people to see this anymore. I want them to see this new thing I'm posting about. And I can guarantee you, you really don't care about that recipe all that much. You would rather more people see your Plexus post, right? Okay, so you have to be smart. If you really wanted to share that recipe, take a screenshot of it, put it up in your story, and then it's going to boost your Plexus post that you just posted. Because when you post things in your story, that boosts your regular newsfeed post. But if you post two things close to each other on your newsfeed wall, on your actual like page and on that post, they negate each other. The new one will push the other one down. They don't help each other at all, ever. They never ever help each other, ever, guys. So I have earrings in. I hope that's not making too loud of a noise for you guys, but I hope that makes sense. Okay. So how do you make relationships with people in groups? Here's what I do. I go into a group and I make a post. And I try to either ask a question, because people love getting asked questions. People just like to answer, feel like they're helping somebody and that kind of a thing. And then, or I will be vulnerable in a way. Aw, thanks, Suzanne. Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I get to help you guys. I feel like sometimes I'm talking and that maybe some of you guys are like rolling your eyes and just like, oh gosh, this girl, like, will she just ever shut up or something? Like, I'm so glad that some of you are getting something and appreciate it. So anyways, okay. So I'll go into a group and I'll just either ask a question, or I'll make like a vulnerable post, maybe with a question. But normally it's asking a question, honestly, because not just am I trying to build relationships with people, but for Plexus reasons, but generally I'm going into a group because I do have things in common with those people. I'm not just choosing a random group. I personally, I don't own a dog, okay? So I'm not going to go into a dog owners group and talk about dogs because I don't have a dog. I don't really care to know more about dogs because I don't have one. It's not a passion of mine. I don't care. But I do go into gardening groups, off the grid groups, homesteading, sewing, social media groups, although I don't really do a whole lot in there, homeschool groups, mom groups, because guess what? I have things I can learn from those people. I need help in those areas, or I have a passion for those areas and I want to meet like-minded people. So if I'm in a certain stage in my life, like just the other day I kind of posted about it in Proteges, I'm in the process of organizing my house, especially my middle room, which is like a disaster. Okay, it's like crazy. It's the catch-all room. It's my sewing room, but it's also like everything else in the world is in there. And I need help organizing it. And eventually it's going to be my Plexus office until we build our house, our off-the-grid house further back on our property like we're planning to do. So I went to this organizing group and I was like, hey, I took pictures because it was a disaster, which that's vulnerable. When you show vulnerability, people can connect with that because they've been there. A lot of them are there and they're not brave enough to do that. So you're showing bravery and vulnerability. Also that you're human and you're real, and they're going to want to connect with you and they're going to want to help you. And so I got, guys, there's probably like 400 comments on that post. It's crazy. And they all like had great advice, like fantastic advice for me, and I needed that advice. So I'll see some people who maybe their comment sticks out to me. Maybe they had like a really good sense of humor in their comment, and I'll click on their profile, or they had really good advice. And so like maybe on their comment, I'll like it or love it, and I'll respond and maybe ask them another question. We kind of build a little bit of rapport right there. Then maybe I'll click on their profile and see if it's somebody that I really do think I could be friends with or get along with or could possibly need Plexus, and then I might send them a friend request, and then I'll say like in the message, I'll send them a message and say, hey, I just really appreciate you encouraging me today in that post, and you had some really good ideas. I hope you don't mind I sent you a friend request. I just think you're really cool, and that maybe we could become friends. And then more often than not, they're like, yeah, totally, that's awesome. And so here's also a smart way to do it too, is like if you're aiming to build relationships with a certain group of people, it can be smart to update your profile, your Facebook profile, so that you're kind of portraying that thing. So for instance, last year I went into a gardening group, and before I went in, I changed my cover photo to a gardening photo. Like a really pretty looking garden, one that I would totally love to be my garden. And then I made a post about gardening on my Facebook page. And then I also made sure there was nothing like too salesy or Plexusy looking on my Facebook page either. And I do not have Plexus as my job anymore. It says entrepreneur because I don't want people to think I'm just after them for network marketing. Because I'm not, but I'm always for helping people get on Plexus if they need it for the business or the products, okay? So I would go in and, fix up my Facebook page, and then I go into the group and make a post and then try and build relationships. And then what happens, guys, and I changed my, like the little bio that we have. So let me go to my Facebook page on my computer and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, I disconnected the internet there. Hold on. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect you here. But you know how we have like the little bio section on our Facebook page? I went in and I changed it, and I made the very first thing to say gardener. And then other things like gardener, homeschooling mom, like whatever. And so that way, when I do friend request these people, what are they seeing? They're seeing my profile picture, which is a nice smiling picture of me, totally with a filter, so I look gorgeous, because y'all, I do not have a filter right now and you can see me in all my glory, okay? But on my actual profile page, it's definitely got a filter and I look glorious and really pretty and like I have perfect skin. And then in my cover photo is a gardening photo, and then in my bio says gardener very first. So guess what they're seeing when I friend request them? Oh, she's a gardener. Oh, look, she's, got a nice, pretty smile, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look, it says gardener and homesteader and blah, blah, blah in her thing. What are they going to do? They're going to accept my friend request because we have things in common, right? I'm not just some weirdo sending them a profile or sending them a friend request. Okay, so do y'all know what I'm talking about when I say profile bio? Hold on. I'm going to turn this around and show you really quick. Okay. Here's and y'all, if you are doing Plexus for weight loss, can I just tell you, seriously, take your progress pictures, okay? I took them every single week when I started. Now I have them up here in order on my Mac. That's my beginning 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, and then that's like start 2 months, 4 months, working it through all the way to the end. So guys, take your progress pictures. That is such a huge help for your business. Okay? If you're doing it for skin issues or whatever, take progress pictures, okay? And just keep track of them and have them there to share when you can. Okay. So this is the bio I'm talking about. So this is when, like, if you're trying to recruit out of a specific group, which this week I need to start recruiting out of a off the grid group, okay? Because I want to start looking into that a little bit more. And also I'm going to be interviewing a family in Kentucky who's building the type of home that me and my husband want to build, called a cordwood home, and they're living completely off the grid. And I'm going to be interviewing her on a Facebook Live on my Facebook page in 2 weeks. So I'm going to be recruiting lots of friends that are off the gridders soon, okay? So, and then, you've got your featured photos. You can pick which ones you want featured here. And then, and then your cover photos. So you can change your cover photo to whatever it is that you're wanting to do. All right, let me turn it on. Okay. So that's kind of how I make friends. And as far as how to build relationships with them, so let me turn this back around. So if I just made them a new friend, you can go to your home page right here, and you have friends lists here, okay? I have friends lists for different things. Now, Facebook created me some that I don't give a rat's booty about, but I have my own ones. I have new friends, customers, levels 2 through 4, level 1s, peeps interested in Plexus, and those are the only ones I really use. So if someone shows interest in Plexus, I'm going to add them to this list. If they are a new friend, I'll add them to this list. So any new friends, like out of the gardening group, I'll add to that one, or whatever group I'm trying to recruit friends out of, basically. And then you can add people here. You can just click this and type their name, and you add them here. And guess what? Guess what this is, guys? This is a news feed only of people on that list. So this is only the people on the new friends list. Okay, so I'll see all of them. I can like and comment on their posts, all of that. So I am making sure that I am keeping up with those people, okay, and building that relationship. Now, here's another fun way that you can make sure that they are on the proper list or whatever. Because on your phone, you can't add them to a list like I just showed you. But what you can do is, let's see, I'm in my regular newsfeed. I'm going to click this girl. And it's going to go to her page. And I'll show you how you can do this mobile. Now, obviously, I'm on my computer. I'm not mobile right now, but you can do this same thing on your mobile phone to add somebody to a list that you have. Okay, as soon as my computer's being slow, but and this is like such a simple way to make sure that you're keeping up with your people. Okay, so here we go. We go to here. Now in mobile, there'll be a thing right here where you say, where it says like friends or something like that on mobile, and or like see friendship, and you can, on mobile it will say you go to see more, there'll be like 3 dots and you would do see more, and then you would say lists or add to list or something like that. And then so right here I can pick which one I want to make sure she's added to, and I'm going to click this one, and now it has a check mark next to that, and she's shown interest. I don't know why she's not on any of my lists. She should have been, but she's not. So I just made sure I added her to 2 of my lists now, and so now she's on those. So when I go to those news feeds, she'll be on there. Okay, so hopefully helpful. Alrighty, so okay, Monica. Okay, awesome, Suzanne. Yeah, the lists, Rachel, are so helpful. They've been so helpful to me, and sometimes I don't use them as often as I should. Like I don't keep checking them, or I've gotten out of the habit of doing my IPAs because I've been so focused on other things in my life and trying to help my team that I've not really been working my own personal business as much. So that's kind of what happens a little bit sometimes as you start to move up, that you have to do things and put things in place for your team so that they can do well. And that's kind of what I've been focusing on a little bit. So anyways, well, if anyone has, okay, so let me check my messages and see if Dustin sent me a, okay. Dustin, if you're still watching, just message me your question. I can try and go into Proteges and see this video on there. I don't know if y'all have any more questions. Rachel, you have any questions? Have any questions about story feature or any more about posting? Alright, let's see if I can see. Alright, let me see, Dustin, if I can see your thing on here. I can't even see it on here. If someone else wants to rewrite Dustin's um, comment, that'd be cool. Because I can't even see it on here. Who's still on? Rachel, no one else asked questions earlier, so pretty much if you have any questions right now, I probably didn't cover it yet, so feel free to ask whatever you want. Dustin's typing a question right now, so he's sending it to me in a message. Trying to think if there's any other advice I have. Can I see this? Scheduled posts on our timelines. Dustin, I can see your comment that says, can you see this? And I see that you're typing on Messenger to me right now. Are you talking about, what's that? Well, I know hold on, let me fix my headset. Oh, sorry guys, this is really bothering me. Okay. Y'all, I for reals need to get a new headset, and I need to get a new tripod, so I don't have to hold you in my hand the whole time. Okay. If you're talking about the Buffer app, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do the Buffer app anymore. The Buffer app isn't necessary because, first of all, you should only be posting on your Facebook wall 1 to 2 times a day, 3 maximum. Okay, whereas in the past, we were really pressured and felt like we needed to post at least 3 times a day. You remember that when that's how it was supposed to be, and so I don't know if, you know what, Dustin, I would say I don't think that's ever going to come for our timelines. Okay, so his question, guys, since you guys can't see it, he asked me, so Facebook lets you schedule posts in groups and whatnot, which makes life convenient. It does. It makes it so much easier. Is anything like that coming in the future for your timeline? So far from what I've heard, it's not, because in all the things that Facebook has been putting out recently, on all the changes that they're making and wanting to make for Facebook, is they're wanting to have less marketing type stuff and more friendship building, relationship building, friends and family. They're wanting people to see more of their friends and family's posts and not as many of other things. And the average person, the average Facebook user who doesn't use it for business at all, would never schedule their post, right? They just would never do that. It doesn't even make sense. And so people who schedule their posts are people like us who are trying to build a business. We're trying to hit optimum, times of posting and all of that, so it gets in front of the most amount of people and all of that, where the average Facebook user really doesn't care about that. They're just posting to post and to get interaction and relationship building with their friends and family. And they want to see what their friends and family is doing, and they want to see, they want their friends and family updated on their life, right? So I really do not ever foresee that happening. As much as we would love that to happen, I just don't think it would ever happen. Okay. Rachel, I don't feel like my Facebook story gets seen very much. How do we increase that? Okay. So, Rachel, go ahead and comment below. Tell me how many times a day you are posting on your Facebook story. Can you tell me that? Dustin says, I just feel like I think about things to post, and then by the time that I get time to sit down and post them, it's 10 p.m., which feels too late. I totally understand that. I'm right there with you. I haven't posted yet today. I've been so busy all day long working on things for my downline and things for my team. And then I would just post random things on my story because it's so fast and so quick that I haven't even posted on my thing. Directly right before this, I had a launch party. All day long I was working on launching 2 different groups for my team.
I did a live video in one of those groups. Then right after the launch party I threw tonight, I went and got my kids to sleep, and then I woke up, or I got out of the bed 5 minutes before that. So it's just some days I don't even have the time to make a post. But here's a really good thing that I do is that on occasion, or often, when I think of a post, I'll type it up in my notes on my phone or on my computer, because I have an iPhone and it's connected to my computer through like an iCloud, and so then I'll type it up there, and then add emojis if I have the time to, or whatever. And then whenever the time is right, then I'll post it. I'll just copy and paste and post it, and that's original because it's something I created out of my notepad. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a way, especially you as a teacher, you're busy. You have a really busy day. But maybe during your lunch hour, you'll think about it, or maybe when the kids are reading, you're actually you have the time to be able to think it up, and you can type it up in your notes really quick, save it, and that way at your lunch hour you can just post it. You know what I mean? So anyways, or maybe it's at 10 p.m. that you have time time to type it up, save it in the notes section in your phone, and then upload it the next day at breakfast time or lunch or whenever. Okay. Rachel says, today I didn't at all, but normally 3 to 5 times. Okay, that's because you're not posting enough, Rachel. If you really want to get a good following and a good amount of people seeing your story feature, which you do, and if you really want your story feature to be boosting your Facebook posts, you need to be posting at least, for reals. Okay, I'm being real with you, 10 times a day. Okay? Now, some days I don't even do that. Some days it's busy or whatever. But the majority of days, go look on mine. Go look on mine right now. There's probably, I don't even know, I don't know, because some of them might have gotten phased out recently, but there's probably at least 15 on mine. And I'm not saying you need to mimic me, or I'm not trying to toot my own horn or nothing like that. Y'all, I'm learning this stuff with you, but you really should try and do that. And here's the thing, guys, it's so simple and easy. Take a picture of what you're eating for food, slide it over, because if you're doing Instagram, slide it over to get a nice filter, maybe type something like, this was so good, whatever, and then add it. And then, just add little things throughout your day. It's like a behind the scenes. It's like little snapshots of your day. So I'll typically post the picture of the devotional I'm doing in the morning, maybe the yoga video that I end up doing, then my breakfast, then me taking one of my pills, like Vital Biome. Maybe I'll post a picture of something crazy my kid did, and then me taking Vital Biome, this is why I take Vital Biome type thing. And then I just do that all throughout the day. 30 minutes before lunch, I'm drinking my Slim, take a picture of drinking my Slim. Then lunchtime, what I'm eating for lunch. Afternoon, me homeschooling the kids. It's so quick snapshots. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to create this long wording with it or whatever. And it is weighted so much heavier than interaction or anything else on your regular newsfeed, and it's going to boost your regular newsfeed. It boosts your posts, and it holds higher weight, and so it's just it does nothing but help you. You literally could not post too much on your story. And the reason why no one is seeing your story, you're only putting it on 3 to 5 times a day. If you notice on the story, everything someone's over further to the left. The more someone is posting, the more theirs is going to be over on the left. Now, you're going to see yours all the way on the left because it's yours. But if you were on somebody else's phone, they'll never see yours because you didn't post recently at all. But if you're posting once an hour all day long, just one really quick snapshot and add it, or maybe 2 things every 2 hours or whatever, you're going to be further over on the left because you're updating yours more often. Does that make sense? Okay. Monica says, I've started writing my post in the notes on my phone, then whenever I think of them, Dustin, yep, exactly. That's what I do, Monica. Talk to text. Yep. But I always edit your talk to text because sometimes it gets crazy. Cry. It's okay, Monica. I'm glad that you do it too. That's awesome. Yeah, Instagram story, treat it the same. Yeah, I pretty much just post everything on my Instagram story because I like an Instagram story feature better than the Facebook story feature. It's got a little bit more fun stuff to it. You can do the hashtags, you can do polls. Polls are huge. Um, Polls are super, super helpful because it gets people um, answering them. And here's the thing, a little tip: you don't want to do like yes and no on like most things, especially if it has to do with your product. Like, so if you were doing a poll and you said like, have you tried the pink, or do you want to try the pink drink? Let's say that's like your poll. You wouldn't put yes and no, because if somebody says no, like five people say no, then like the next person sees it and they're like, only one person said yes and five people said no. I don't want to try your drink if no one else wants to, because we all are, you know, fueled by peer pressure a lot. We want to do what's cool or popular. And so, what you would do instead is say, sure, yes, please. So they're both yes and yes. And so if someone is going to choose your poll, it's going to be it's going to be either way, it's a yes. Or send me info, absolutely. Whatever. And so that way it's, two yeses basically and not a no. Now, if it's something else, like have you seen this movie? Yes and no is fine, but and make sure you're doing polls about other things besides your product. And that's something that I need to do more of. It's just a way to get people interacting with you, get those conversations going, because if they're watching your post, they're interested in your life, and if they're watching your story, they're interested in your life, especially if they're answering your questions. And so you do want to start to build relationships with those people because they're finding you interesting. They see your Plexus post, they see you, talking about these products, and they're not annoyed by you. They're intrigued at least a little bit if they're willing to converse with you and that kind of a thing. So, Rachel says that makes sense. So should we spread? Sorry, guys. So should we spread them out throughout the day and not cram them in a short period of time? Whatever you can do. If you can spread them out throughout the day, then that's awesome, because that's just going to keep you in the front most of the time. I like to do that when I can, but sometimes I get busy and I don't. It's no big deal. Just post them in there when you can. Some days, the end of the day, I'll post like 4 or 5. There's a few that I haven't, from earlier today, that I haven't posted yet. I think there's one from yesterday I haven't posted yet. I'll probably post it tomorrow. It's just like, because I'll take a picture on my phone and then I just didn't have a chance to update it. And so anyways, I'll just add them when I can. So, hey Tamara, feel free to ask any questions as you think of them. Okay, Rachel says, oh, by the way, I know we talked about the link feature on Instagram story before. Is it available to those who have met a certain number of followers? Yes. It's available to those who've met a certain number of followers. I don't know what that is. I think it might be 10,000, but I'm not sure. It could be less than that. I definitely have not reached that amount of people, so I don't know. But yeah. And that's pretty cool. Like, there's all kinds of things that are going to keep coming out for people. And so the Instagram stories is like so cool, right? Facebook is modeled after the Instagram story. Facebook owns Instagram. They just launched it on Instagram first. So those changes that we're seeing in Instagram, they're going to be coming to Facebook. So pretty soon, Facebook story feature will have its own poll. And I cannot wait for the day, because it is going to happen someday. I don't know how soon, but probably this year sometime, Facebook will be releasing their own Bitmoji. And I can't wait for that, because I love Bitmojis. And I do like Facebook and Instagram more than Snapchat myself, just because I don't know, I don't have any friends on Snapchat yet. If you're on Snapchat, go ahead and add me, because I don't have any friends. It's at LiveCaitlin, LiveCaitlyn, on Snapchat. But as these Instagram and Facebook story features are becoming more like Snapchat, I'm going to like them more and more, because I really do like the Bitmojis, and like they're so much fun. So anyways, keep them coming. Y'all are asking great questions, but if you run out of questions, then we can just sign off or whatever. Dustin, did that answer your question good enough? Did that make sense?
Well, I'm going to give you a few more minutes because I know sometimes you're typing out a question and it might take a minute to type it out before. Okay, I'm going to give a little hint for those of you who are shooting for silver. This is a little bit of math for you. This is how I looked at it when I tried to hit gold, okay? But I'm going to talk about it for silver. If you hit silver this month, and let's say if you hit silver in a normal month, you will only get a $100 bonus, right? You'll also get $25 business building bonus off of each welcome pack. So let's say you're signing 3 new people and you get your thing, that's $175. That's awesome, right? That's at least paying for your triplex. But this month, they're doubling that. So you would normally get $100. You're going to get $150 for sure. And then if you retain having silver the next month, then you'll get the additional $50. Okay? So you're for sure going to get $150. Let's say you hit silver next month in April and not this month. Well, guess what? You just missed out on $50, possibly $100, right? So here's what we do. You have to think of it as if I hit silver next month and not this month, I'm missing out on $50 or $100. So I'm going to make sure I hit silver this month. So let me do some math. If I get a new ambassador with a welcome pack, it's gonna be $25 off each of them, right? And I'd get $25, $25, $25. That's $75 off of them. Now, if I offer $10 off of their welcome pack for each one, that's $30 I'm investing on each person. That might get them on board to actually purchase and actually join my team, and then they'll become an ambassador. Then there we go. I'm investing 30 of it, but I'm getting back 50, possibly 100 more. So I'm gaining 20 additional money, or 70 additional money on top. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So if you do that, if you look at it that way, and I want you to understand with Plexus, we don't have, I think we can take for granted the fact that we don't have investments we have to do every single month. We don't have to purchase our own inventory. Our investment was literally $35 and that's it. That's awesome. But if we are shooting for goals, sometimes we need to make a little bit of investment if we want to hit those goals, in my opinion. So, I just think like investing ahead of time on somebody to get them on board to reach your goal so that you're actually going to get the prize that you're shooting for or the recognition you're shooting for